All right, so what's going on with the Honda Shadow? Well, since we left off, I took the battery out and I'm going to just go get a new one of those. I sprayed a little bit of WD-40 in the cylinders to lube it up just for the first time it starts so that it doesn't have to be super dry. Oh, I got the front brake. I added more fluid and bled that. And that was completely empty. So like you could just move the lever. And I'm kind of thinking somebody tried to bleed them and it didn't work because it just works. And I don't know if it's leaking. Oh, it is leaking. It's the little view window is leaking. So it was a couple hours ago I put the fluid in there. So now I see where it's leaking, which is a good thing. So now I know where it's leaking from, and I know I can fix that. I'll show you where it is. It's leaking right out of this little view window. This back brake is super bound up. So I have to pull this off and just lube that up. I have not looked at the air filter yet. That's in here, so I'm gonna pull that out, clean that up. And then I ordered float bowl gaskets for the carb and a new petcock. So those will be here sometime next week. I'm so excited to run this thing though. Got some new parts in. That's the new sight glass for the brake master cylinder. Is a replacement petcock for the fuel tank. So this is actually the old petcock that I just put the filter from the new petcock on and the little O-ring in here because this one's vacuum actuated and the replacement one I bought is not, which is fine. I really just needed this pre-filter and the petcock was so cheap. I figured it was worth it just to buy it for these parts. I also got this brake lever working again. It was super sticky. All I did was pull the shaft out, clean it, re-grease it. It's working good as new. You can see that nasty sight glass. Oh my gosh. There we go. I got this new O-ring and this new sight glass. Hopefully that works. All right, I just cleaned out some of the gunk from in here. So now I gotta run some more brake fluid through just to clean out all that gunk that could be in the caliper or the line. The brakes should be working as long as that seals, so I'll just watch it for a couple days and see if it leaks out. All right, these are bled and my level looks good. Now I can actually see through that. So I can put the top back on. Check it out, this kit came with some new screws and they're hex head screws, so they won't strip out. Like, I always have these strip out when they're the Phillips head for whatever reason. I'm so excited to check this tomorrow and see if it's leaking. All right, I wanna try and turn this over before I spend any more money on it. So I'm gonna see if there's enough oil in it just for a turnover. And I did spray WD-40 in it a couple of days ago in the cylinders. So hopefully nothing will go wrong, hopefully there. So I'm just gonna make sure there's enough oil in it and then hook it up to the jump pack and see what happens. Well, it's a little gross, but it definitely does have oil in it. I guess that's a good sign, right? If it does turn over, I'm gonna throw a compression tester on and test both of the cylinders and see where we're at. This probably should have been the first thing I did, admittedly, but it's not, so. I have the battery charger hooked up, and I'm gonna pull my paper towels out of here. Okay, I'm gonna switch this to 2 amps, which should give me enough that if this is working, my ignition will turn on. There we go. I wonder if we have a horn. Oh, that's so funny. Look at that, the headlight's on. I wonder if the turn signals work. Or the brake light.
See if the brake light does anything.
The brake light works.
Do the high beams? The high beams work.
This thing was a steal. As long as it turns over. I feel like I'm speaking too soon. Don't want to do that. Let's see if the turn signals work.
No? No turn signals?
I guess this is the moment of the truth. Will the bike turn over?
I'm gonna crank this up a little bit.
Made a weird noise.
Turn this up a little bit more.
No way, yes! That's definitely turning over, so I'm gonna hook up this compression gauge and see what kind of compression we're getting. Check this back cylinder first. So I've got a couple adapters for this compression gauge, but none of them fit the actual spark plug holes. So Amazon to the rescue. I ordered an adapter, should be here tomorrow, so I should be able to know, do I have good compression or not? All right, I wasn't even gonna put this part in this video, but I got my little adapter in and I'm way too excited to test the compression on this. That's over 150 with the engine cold. Let's see what the back one's supposed to be. I think that's pretty good. That one is even a little bit higher. I did let it run for a little bit longer, so. Oh, that is a great feeling. They're within like 5 PSI of each other, and they're both above 150, so I think that's right around where we want. I mean, I think that they could be a little bit higher, but it's also a 37-year-old motorcycle, and the cylinders are cold, so as that heats up and the clearance gets tighter, I might be seeing higher PSI anyway. So that means that the engine's at least not busted up too bad. And this morning I mailed in my documents for the Vermont loophole. So when I get those Vermont plates back, I didn't realize this, but I can't technically run them in North Carolina since I'm not a resident in North Carolina, or since I am. Basically, I have to just bring the stuff to North Carolina DMV, get the North Carolina plates, and then I can run it. But that should be in a couple weeks, hopefully. That's not too long. And I'm still waiting on the carb stuff to get here. The engine's not even running yet. I still want to maybe check the valve clearance and take the wheels off, check the bearings, and just kind of keep checking over and cleaning the bike. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned because I'm going to be posting more about this bike, and I do want to make another mower video soon, so make sure you subscribe, stay watching, and stay, you know,